Alright guys, Dokkan time again, and today we're going to be going over how to build JANEMBA Modified. So everyone probably already knows how to build him, but just for the sake of it, maybe he'll get him next year whenever Heroes comes around again, or maybe you just randomly pulled him on random last multi for the banner, because the banner actually leaves in a couple days. But you're going to build this guy the same exact way you would build just about every single JANEMBA. Like, every JANEMBA is basically built the exact same. Minus a couple differences here and there. But the most common thing is you're never going to put crit into them. There's just no point. You could put in some crit, and, you'd probably see some damage in there, but that's not what he's made for. It's not what he's here for. He stacks attack and defense by 30% for 3 turns. So that really does come in handy. In that thought process, you would definitely want to focus more on additional than crit easily any time of the day. So additional definitely is beneficial, especially when we lose the first part of his passive, which is he launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super when facing 2 or more enemies, and guards all attacks for 5 turns from the character's entry point. So because of losing guard after 5 turns, more defense the better. I mean, truthfully, more defense the better. The other thing that you have to keep in mind is he does get attack and defense plus 40% per crossover ally, up to 200%. Now, if you look into his passive right here, as you can see, he doesn't have any base stat boosts. This is his base stat boost. That is it. So if you're going to run JANEMBA, you're going to want to make sure it's a full crossover team, or else he's going to be probably considerably weaker. Damage-wise, ignored. Defense would be very bad if you went even without one crossover. Like if you had 5 out of 6 crossover allies, I mean, it would just I don't know. I think it'd be pretty rough. It'd be pretty rough. He does get an additional attack boost up to 240 with each attack formed, and he gets an additional defense boost with each attack received up to 180. So you really want to get those hits in before he loses his guard. And then he does have a chance to crit already, starting from the character performs an attack or receives an attack for the 5th attack in battle. So he's got built-in crit, which was another reason why I said you do not need to give him crit, because he's already got it built in. It's just going to happen. I don't believe he has any, dodge or anything. Yeah, he doesn't have anything for his links. He's only on 4 categories. He's only going to be able to be used on crossover or an intermixing of them with crossover. I mean, he's a very good corroded body and mind unit. So, I mean, if you can make a corroded body and mind crossover team, that would be very good. That would be very good. And as per usual, he's a JANEMBA unit, so just about all of the units that he links up perfectly with will be JANEMBAs. Unfortunately, there's just no other crossover JANEMBA, so you'll never get them linked up together, because if you do, he's going to be suffering from it, because he's going to be losing out on, well, a lot of stat buffs. He won't be usable at that point. His next best link partner is the Bora, which is still not very good because he doesn't have big bad bosses. I mean, shoot, even Intelligence 21 is kind of a better link partner because she hasn't big bad bosses. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't think there's really anything to anything else to say. You either go full additional or full dodge. Either way, it's both of those. Personally, I think I went for more of a dodge build, but I think I still have about 10 additional into him. So there is that to take into consideration. If we go over to Halvard here, we can look at his defense stats. His start of turn is nothing to, call home about, but, a full build-up with a double super, well, I mean, you're looking into 1.1 million defense, 1.287 million defense is his cap with a 40% support. If you had a 50% support, you can go a little higher. But yeah, he's definitely very good. You're never gonna triple super with him though, so this is a very unlikely scenario. because you have to have multiple enemies that you're fighting. That is the issue right there. Not to mention, you're never going to get all of his links off. Brutal, Beatdown, Shocking Speed, Metamorphosis, Fear and Faith, Big Bad Bosses. More than likely, you will have, I want to say, Big Bad Bosses up if you're with the right one. Shocking Speed. Metamorphosis may or may not be up. Shattering the Limit would help, but I'm not really sure at what times that'll be up. The point is, you want them linked with the Big Bad Bosses unit at the very least so that you can try and get the most majority of defense boost. I would say the most regular amount of defense you're going to see him at, fully built up after, like, double supering. He'll probably be 800k defense to 1,000,000 defense on a good turn. But like I said, once he loses that guard after 5 turns, that's when you're going to start hurting a little bit, and you may want to consider just floating him off or being very careful what slot you put him into. Otherwise, he's a solid slot 1 unit up until that point. So, anyways, guys, let me know how you're going to build him. How much crit or not crit, how much additional or dodge are you going to give this boy? So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and have a good day and a good night.